Some hotels stay in one place. Some cities float. Today I'm inside a city that moves with the sea. Odyssey of the Seas. When people hear the word cruise, they imagine a ship. But when you actually step inside, you realize this is not a ship, it is a floating lifestyle. Being on Odyssey of the Seas feels like staying in a luxury resort that gently moves with the ocean. And what I truly appreciate, especially after 50, is how thoughtfully everything is designed. Nothing feels chaotic. Nothing feels overwhelming. Everything flows calmly. This magnificent vessel stretches over 1,138 feet long, rises across 16 decks, and carries an impressive scale, accommodating around 4,200 passengers at a double occupancy, up to maximum of about 5,500 when fully booked, and supported by a dedicated crew of roughly 1,600. Its grand size and thoughtful engineering create an epic yet surprisingly serene floating paradise. Let me take you through what life feels like inside. Good morning from the Mediterranean. When you wake up on a cruise, you don't hear traffic, you hear waves. That itself heals seniors. Let me take you inside my home for 7 nights. This is not a room, it's a retreat. Soft bed, clean space, balcony that opens your heart. After 50, comfort matters more than luxury, and cruises understand that beautifully. Let's explore. Dining areas are peaceful. You don't fight for food. You choose joy. Breakfast by the window, watching the ocean, it changes your digestion, your mood, your mindset. When you enter the main dining room, the first thing you notice is elegance, but not the kind that makes you uncomfortable. It is warm, welcoming elegance, soft lighting, beautifully set tables, attentive staff who treat you like family. Dining here is not just about food. It's about slowing down. It's about conversation. It's about sitting properly, enjoying each bite, and remembering that meals are experiences, not tasks. After 50, we appreciate this even more. We are not rushing to the next activity. We are sitting, smiling, sharing stories. The service staff remember your preferences. They ask how your day was. That human connection makes such a difference. On land, we often eat quickly. Here, we dine gracefully. And honestly, that alone feels like a gift. Now let's talk about Windjammer, the buffet area. Some people think buffet means noise and hurry. But here, it feels spacious and organized. Large windows open toward the sea. Imagine having breakfast while watching endless blue water stretch to the horizon. You can choose light, healthy options or something indulgent. And at this stage of life, balance matters. You enjoy, but you choose wisely. What I love most is the freedom. You are not restricted. You take what you want, how much you want, and you sit where you feel comfortable. And that's what cruising teaches you. Choice without pressure. Pools are calm. Jacuzzis invite your muscles to relax. Now the pool deck, one of my favorite spaces. During the day, sunlight dances on the water. Some people swim, some relax in loungers, some simply sit and stare at the ocean. And I must say, there is something deeply therapeutic about sitting by the pool while the ship glides forward. You feel movement, but you don't feel stress. The sea breeze touches your face, and suddenly your worries feel smaller. After 50, we need spaces that relax our nervous system. The pool deck does exactly that. It doesn't demand activity, it offers calm. Lounges allow you to pause life. One thing I love about Odyssey is nobody rushes you. You can sit, you can walk slowly, you can breathe. Entertainment is elegant. Music is gentle. Shows are inspiring, not exhausting. Evenings on the ship are magical. The theatre performances are beautifully organized. Music, dance, lights, but done in a way that feels enjoyable, not exhausting. You sit comfortably, no pushing, no standing in long queues if you plan wisely. The performers are talented, energetic, and inspiring. Watching them, you realize something important. Energy has no age limit. And as I sit there watching the show, I often think, life itself is a performance. Each stage different, each act meaningful. After 50, we watch more deeply. We appreciate effort. We clap not just for talent, but for dedication. Walking in the casino, you see lights, excitement, people trying their luck. Even if you don't play, it's interesting to observe. For some, it's entertainment. For others, it's curiosity. What I appreciate is that everything is optional. Nothing is forced. If you want peaceful corners, they exist. If you want a little thrill, that exists too. At our age, we don't gamble recklessly, but we do enjoy watching life unfold in different ways. And sometimes, simply being part of the atmosphere is enough. For seniors, travel must be friendly to your knees, backs, and hearts. Elevators everywhere, handrails, helpful crew. Cruising after 50 is like having a caretaker that doesn't feel like a caretaker. And emotionally, the sea teaches patience. And then there is this promenade, the heart of the ship. Shops, cafes, seating areas, gentle music. It feels like walking in a charming European street, except you are floating in the middle of the sea. People stroll slowly, no rush, no honking, no traffic. You meet fellow travelers, exchange smiles, sometimes even stories. What I love is the sense of community. On a cruise, strangers become familiar faces within days. You start recognizing people at breakfast, at shows, at promenade. It reminds you that travel connects humanity. One thing I deeply respect about Royal Caribbean International is how they understand different age groups. Young people have activities, families have entertainment, seniors have comfort. And that balance makes all the difference. Cruising after 50 is not about proving you are still young. It's about enjoying where you are in life. Inside the ship, I feel secure. I feel relaxed, I feel taken care of. And that peace of mind allows me to truly enjoy the journey. Not just the destinations, but the days in between. Because sometimes the most beautiful part of travel is not the port you visit. It is the quiet morning coffee, the gentle evening walk on the deck, and the feeling that life is still unfolding beautifully. And as Odyssey of the Seas moves through the Mediterranean waters, I move with it, calmly, gratefully, and with a heart that is still curious. When you sit and watch waves, problems become smaller. You realize life doesn't need speed, it needs balance. Odyssey doesn't carry passenger, it carries peace. And tomorrow, land will greet us again. Santorini awaits.